So, hello everyone, and welcome to our Holistic Nutrition Wellness Graduate Panel. We get to celebrate you and hear what you're doing, see where you are in the world, talk about your passions and purpose with nutrition, talking about your experience in this field, what brought you into it, what guided you through the programs, your challenges, your successes, just really sharing. So my name is Becca Briley. I'm the marketing director here at Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, and I am joined by Janet Lee, living food chef. She's also an instructor for SWIHA and an online advisor. So she supports our students who are enrolled, our future graduates, and ongoing students with proper nutrition. You really do inspire so many people. You know that, right?
So much.
So this is really neat. Just wanted to kind of say hi to everybody across the nation. We have Lynn in Boulder, Colorado, Lucy in Scottsdale, Sarah San Antonio, Susan in Chandler, Alicia in Indiana, Robin in DC, Kelly, Pennsylvania, Hudson, New York, Kristen, Tomika's in Maryland, Hope's in Tennessee. That's so awesome. Tiffany's in Gilbert. Awesome. Kaylee, Ahwatukee. Sharon's in Tempe. Lisa's in Georgia. Leah's in Cave Creek. So many people who are here and people who are dispersed around the nation. So we have 3 of our graduates who have joined us right here. 3 panelists who are going to be sharing. We have a few more who might be joining just a little bit late, but what we're going to do is we're going to allow our graduates to introduce themselves, and we'll keep it in order kind of as we have it here in this beautiful little picture that I made to feature their beautiful faces. But
we have the first 3.
Yeah, isn't that fun? Yeah, okay, cool. This will flow nicely. So what we'll do is we'll have you, Anna, start. How funny is that they literally came in the flow of the picture too. That's just divine. So we will have Anna introduce herself first, and then Angela, followed by Jenny. I think that'll be a good kind of segue into this time together. We have about an hour together. We left a 30-minute overflow for Q&A, just depends on how many people attend. So as any questions come up for people who are here to learn and meet these graduates, to type in your questions so that we can read them to our graduates, and you can get some really useful Q&A here. So Janet has prepared a list of questions as well to ask each of our graduates, and that'll be after you do your intro. So I see Holly just popped on to another one of our graduates. Hi, Holly. And then we have another one of our panelists on here. I can't see who it is. There's Holly. Hi, Holly. Who is that?
Carolyn, maybe?
It might be. So I'm going to unmute her. She wants to mute herself. So Holly, we were just mentioning if you want to mute yourself when you're not speaking, you can go ahead and do that. And then you can, when you have the floor, you can unmute yourself. Do you know how to mute yourself, Holly?
Yes. Sorry, my computer wouldn't let me load.
Totally fine. Technology is fun.
Yeah, I was waiting and waiting, like, please. Okay.
No problem.
Awesome. So Anna, why don't we start with you? Your name, when you went through school, what was your specialty, and where you live. And we'll start there, and then I have other questions.
Okay, I'm Anna Hume. I recently got married to my best friend, and I went through SWIHA. I graduated last September with the Holistic Wellness Practitioner program. I can't talk tonight. And I haven't actually started coaching yet. I took a year off to as cliched as it is, find myself. And I'm actually launching an online program this September the 3rd.
Okay. And you're in Texas, you said?
Do what?
You're in Texas?
Yes, I'm in Texas.
Okay. Thank you. Angela? We can't hear you.
I muted her.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm Angela Jones. I just completed the program last week, actually.
Woo!
Wow.
Right now, I do have a name in mind for the business I want to have, and it's called It's All Healthology. I haven't launched it yet. I'm trying to prepare now. I was telling Janet this morning, I'm going through notes, trying to get ready for the national certification exam, and I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
Yay. Congrats on your graduation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're the most recent grad of our panelists.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Hi.
How is everyone tonight?
Good. Very good.
I'm
Thank
Jenny Lewis. I graduated the program in May. I did the holistic nutrition program. I specialized in the culinary tract of it because it was all new territory to me. It's gonna sound silly, but I was not a fan of food. Food wasn't really my thing. I had the nutrition stuff down. I'm like, food's kind of a really important part of all of this. So I wanted to get more comfortable in the kitchen, and it was awesome and an adventure for my whole family too. So that was very cool. I have softly started my own practice. It's called Cloverleaf Holistic Living. And I have a handful of clients right now. I'm kind of easing my way into it because I'm also studying for the national board exam. I'm hopefully taking it next month, assuming my application, all that fun stuff gets approved. So we'll see, fingers crossed.
Mhm.
And I think that's it. Was there something else I was supposed to cover?
That's good for now.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks.
Holly?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you know, my name is Holly. I graduated from the nutrition program in June, and I specialized in fitness and nutrition. I have been actually doing some coaching for the last couple years, but I just figured it was better to get my degree in it specifically and have some certifications. So I have all my board exams done and everything, and I have a business called Synergy Solutionist. And under that, I have a separate business called Holly White Health, and I also own a yoga and fitness and health coaching studio called Sky Island Sanctuary. So all of it's going really, really well, and the program helped me immensely.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very good.
So those are all of the panelists.
Yes, Lisa just had a question. Angela had mentioned the certification that she was seeking. Angela, do you want to mention that once more? Whoop.
The
There
national
we go.
exam. The national exam is what I was speaking of for national certification.
Okay. And we'll definitely talk about that more as we get deeper in here, because that's a big component of what people do with this education. It looks like everyone has that same question. So do you want to ask them your questions, or should we do the poll questions first to get started with the polls?
Sure.
So we have some fun questions for our attendees so that we can just get to know you a little bit and see what you're doing here. For those who have checked out the program, we would like to know, and we're going to let our panelists vote too, just for fun. We'd like to know, we would like to hear from you. Is someone not muted? Is there someone on here who's not muted? Stephanie? There we go. Yeah, it was Stephanie. I muted her. Okay. So you're voting to tell us which one that you're most curious about or which specialty you're most drawn to. So these are the specialties within this current program as we have it offered online right now. And you can see the options are fitness nutrition educator, natural foods culinary specialist, hypnotherapist, or mindfulness and guided imagery facilitator. And these are such cool specialties, especially hypnotherapy combined with nutrition, mindfulness and guided imagery. People who want to become culinary specialists, like start their own restaurants, cook for people, and then obviously that fitness component. So people who are active and really need to know about caloric intake, all those details, body type. So let's see, it looks like I usually give about a minute. It's been about a minute and a little over that. So this is fun, right? Look at end polling. We're going to share these results with everyone. So we shared. We'll go over this, Janet.
Yeah, so we have, as you know, in this holistic nutrition program, 755-hour, you choose a specialty. So the fitness has 2 10-week classes, each in 280 and 290, and those are directly connected to NASM, National Association of Sports Medicine. So you get some extra certificates, and what Angela and Jenny are talking about is going through a national board exam through really the governing body that we follow, which is NANP, National Association of Nutrition Professionals. The other option is culinary. So as I really admire you, Jenny, for stepping into the culinary when that isn't your strength. And as an online advisor, I'm always asking students why they chose their specialty. Are you choosing culinary because you're really comfortable in the kitchen and you want to learn a little bit more behind the scenes and get better with your skills? Or is it much like Jenny, who I'm not comfortable in there, so let me dive in, have an open mind, and learn some new skills? And then our third one is mindfulness. We did have one panelist that was going to be on that went through urban farming. That program is just coming to a close. So if she comes on, we'll ask her about that. But that's not around anymore. So we put in this mindfulness. And so that's an option as well. So let's talk about the specialties. So Anna, you chose fitness, and as did Holly. And I'm curious, did it meet your expectations? Did it stretch you? You know, what was your experience? Let's start with you, Anna.
Yeah, it totally met my expectations with going through the fitness portion, because it does have parts. There were classes that were geared towards the fitness industry and exercising and athletes, and it really helped me, especially since now I'm also going for my personal trainer certificate, and I'm able to use the stuff I learned from SWIHA with the nutrition part, and I think they did a very well-rounded aspect of it.
Cool. And let's see, and Holly, how was your experience?
I loved it. I thought it was really, well-rounded, like Anna said. I really appreciated that there were different aspects of what we were learning. So it wasn't like just nutrition through the life cycle, but also nutrition for athletes and different fitness levels, and people going through different diagnoses. So I really appreciated that. And I also like that there was some physiology aspects behind it all, not just this is what you tell people, but like this is what's happening, why. And I'm a super science nerd, so I like all those little.
Yay!
Yeah,
I love nerds.
Yeah.
It's culinary specialty because it goes so well with food, and we all have to move. We're all not all going to be Olympic athletes or high caliber, but we all need to move. I think we can agree with that. So it is a nice fit in there. Stephanie, are you online?
I see her here, but I don't know if she's.
Yeah, she went through the fitness as well. So I was the first graduating class. This program started in December of 2015, and Stephanie and I were in the very first class that went through. And so we both were in the fitness, just as a little tidbit. If you're wondering how long the program's been around, I was a guinea pig. I mean, I was a student, and I was happy to be there. I had been through the 200-hour on campus, and I was excited that this program was coming on board, and I didn't want to wait, even though being online was not something I thought I was going to like. And so anyway, maybe Stephanie will come on board. Let's jump into culinary.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we
There she is.
Okay, awesome. I could not get a signal. It kept popping me off of Zoom and bringing me back on. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
It's okay.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
welcome. And you're in Arizona as well. So
Yes.
maybe just introduce yourself and maybe answer the part about the fitness educator, because that's a big part of your life.
It is. Yeah. So I missed what the question was, but my name is Stephanie Kroon and live in Arizona and completed the program at SWIHA. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I have nothing but rave reviews about it. Currently, I work for an integrative practice, and I work on, just cleaning up everybody's diet and really working on reducing inflammation in the body. That tends to be where I've kind of positioned myself in the last year and a half. Prior to that, I was working for a cardiologist and a family practice. And so what I love is I feel like, medicine with certain practitioners are becoming so much more open to the fact that nutrition has an integral part in repairing and healing people's bodies. And so being able to bring a nutrition coach into that setting is amazing. And so patients can just make such great strides along with the care that they're getting through other practitioners. And then the body really has an environment and an opportunity to go through that healing process. And so that's what I currently do.
Cool. And
I love that.
specifically around the fitness educator, do you think that enhanced? Because I know you have background in fitness.
Yeah, so my degree is in nutrition and exercise science, so I specifically went for the fitness specialist portion of it because it is an integral part of my life now as a fitness instructor. And I loved the part of the program that really taught us about, well, not only just really how the body works with exercise and in conjunction with nutrition, but also the behavior component of it. So really teaching people good behaviors and modifications. And that was a part of the fitness aspect of that too. That was really helpful for me.
Yeah. Big part, talking about behavioral change.
Yes.
In fact, you get a certificate on it. It's really a big part of it. Cool. Thanks, Jeff.
I thought the program was very well run, the fitness portion of it through NASM. I just think that they delivered a very good quality program. So thank you.
Nice. Yay.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the culinary, because I did win the poll tonight. So let's hear more about that program. This part has 4 classes that run. Again, each of those are 100 hours. The fitness is 100 as well, with 2 classes, and then this one has 4 classes. So let's start with you, Angela, because I know you went through this, and maybe give us what you expected, maybe what the challenges were, if there were any, and really what you really took away from that program to use in your life or your business.
Okay. The natural cuisine wasn't my first choice. The fitness educator was my first choice, but then I realized I really like being in the kitchen. And Janet, I know I used to weigh 400 pounds, and I've lost all this weight, and I lost it by
release. We're not.
yeah,
We don't want to
release.
find it. We release. Yes.
I released this weight by
I love it.
changing my eating habits. I'm from the South, and I always say that in the South we tend to boil it to mush or fry it to leather. So I always say that about the South, and the South is very traditional in how we prepare food. So I really wanted this class to kind of shore up what I already knew about natural food, what I taught myself and what I'd learned on my own. The program was everything I expected, and then it was more. I learned a lot about world cuisine, and I'm constantly experimenting in the kitchen, and it just stepped that up for me a little bit to experiment and take risk in the kitchen. And the thing I like to say is that eating healthy doesn't have to be painful. So that particular that really brought it home for me, the natural cuisine classes.
Beautiful. That could be a great tagline, Angela.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jenny, your thoughts? And you have a totally different perspective of Angela, kind of the opposite. I know I keep picking on you, but there's a lot of people like you, right? We're into nutrition, but gosh, what do we do? How do we make it look easy or help other people? So I'm interested in your thoughts.
Because I come from a fitness background, like I'm a CrossFit coach, a yoga instructor. And so my first thought was initially, I'm just going to do the fitness track because this is going to be easy. This is what I know. And then I decided, no, I need to do something I don't know anything about. And that is kind of the bigger component and the more, I feel people don't take as big a consideration into food and how much impact it actually has when releasing weight. And I know I didn't have good habits in my kitchen. Like I was a griller. I'm still a griller, but I have become more comfortable in my kitchen and using things like my food processor and my blender and my stovetop. And it was such a joy to be learning about different foods, how to prepare different foods, getting more comfortable in the grocery store so that I can take people who are just like me and say, okay, you're not comfortable in your kitchen. You don't know how to shop a grocery store. Let me teach you, because I was you I used to be you, and now these are the mad skills I have, and I would love to share them with you. So it was just such an opportunity. Like, it was so much fun. My family thoroughly enjoyed all the food that I was making and trying to make and trying to learn how to plate things to make it look gorgeous. And they're just like, Mom, fail, but we'll try it anyway. So it was
great.
so much fun. Yeah.
Awesome. We have some questions around.
We do. The first one was specifically about, so urban farming is something that some of our students are in currently that we don't offer right now. So urban farming is not a specialty option currently.
No, all the current classes are ending in the next couple of months.
So Tamika was told options 3 and 4 aren't available. So we'll go over the specialties one more time in depth when we look at the program sheet together, but they are available in this program. Some of the other programs, the specialty combinations are a little bit different, but in the Holistic Nutrition Wellness Practitioner Diploma, they are. So we will go back over that. Everyone can hear. Okay, Susan had a question. If a goal is to open a vegan restaurant, is culinary the way to go? And I typed yes. Do you care to expand on that?
Well, absolutely. When you're going into an endeavor like a restaurant, you want to know every aspect of the business, even if you're not an expert at it. So you might be really good doing culinary, but you need to also know about finances and, I think all the way around. That's my opinion. I've never opened a restaurant, but I think it's a good place to start. Ladies, would you agree, Angela and Jenny, that, and I guess, if you're looking specifically at a restaurant, definitely culinary is going to be a better fit than, say, the fitness, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because there's going to be, depends how much more you're going to be doing with it. It kind of never ends. I mean, there's always classes and things to learn. So I think it's a great place to start.
Okay, very good. And then we have a question. Are any graduates, and Alicia asked this, I would like to know if we can take multiple tracks as well. I already have my hypnotherapy, hypnosis, NLP certifications.
You can't take them at the same time.
Mm-mm.
You have to finish one and then come on to the other. So I always kind of equate it to a train. You're on one train, it's holistic nutrition, finish that, and then you can get on the other train, but you can't be jumping back and forth between programs.
And if you have, for example, like the 100-hour hypnotherapy certificate done, or the clinical, even, no, not clinical for this right now, that can transfer into this program. So you can always start small and go big. A lot of times financial aid comes into that component.
Sure.
So we'll talk a little bit more about that as well.
That's a great question from Nikki.
And then Robin asked, are any graduates using or planning to use hypnotherapy in their practice, since we're talking about that? Do any of you grads have the hypnotherapy selection? That's
No.
okay if you don't. I personally find it very powerful as a modality with eating, because we all have to do it. And when you think about society and how we're raised as children, like what are children given as a reward? Think about that. You're given food, you're given sweets, you're given things that will comfort you. So it's like a reward system's built in our mind when we're very young. So there's a big reprogramming piece when we're exploring food, our relationship with food, probably some eating disorders maybe in our past, or we might not even be aware that we have now, but tapping into the subconscious to really get to the root of what's causing maybe some unhealthy eating patterns, whether it's stress, comfort, anxiety. We all have our go-tos if they're not dealt with properly. Hypnotherapy is a big one for that.
Cool.
I hope that helps a little bit.
Tapping. Hello?
Yes. Who's that?
This is Carol Gardner.
Who goes there? Hi, Carol.
Hi, I was going to say that I use EFT tapping in my business for that.
Excellent. There's so many modalities out there.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're here, Carol, by the way.
There's a great question from Nikki. I have an associate's in dietetic technology from Grand Canyon Community College. Can I use my knowledge base and apply it to holistic nutrition? Well, absolutely. I'll tell you, I don't know anything about that program. What I do know is that dietetic is sometimes pretty different from holistic. And again, I'm giving you a broad kind of base on that. What I love about holistic nutrition is that it is broad, that we're not talking just about food and every aspect of food, but also how we can bring in stress and lifestyle, which all makes part of our life. I mean, really, what's in our minds, as you're alluding to, and past behaviors or what we grew up with can be a big factor on how we deal with food. So I'm hoping it would definitely be a complementary and give you a different perspective, different in the sense that it's, I guess I'm biased. I feel like we have a very broad scope with holistic nutrition. Not that it's better, just different. And then we bring in more of a spiritual aspect as well, especially at SWIHA. We love that. We love bringing in, every part of us. Did anybody else want to answer to that? Anything to add? Okay.
I do.
Okay, awesome.
Just to speak on the soul nutrition aspect, I mean, the foundation of our program is called Soul Nutrition, which is seasonal, organic, unprocessed, and local whole foods. And we do focus on the fact that we provide health to ourselves on every level, starting with what we intake. That's going to dictate what we output in the world on every level, mind, body, spirit. So fueling the mind, body, spirit with everything, especially living raw foods. You're big on raw foods. And Lisa has a question, is does this course offer juicing and herbal supplements? I'm getting hungry. I really want to juice now.
definitely get into juicing, talk about it in programs, and, you know, definitely an option. We definitely have supplements. There's actually, in the 200-hour, it touched on supplements, but you take a deep dive into it in the 755. I thought it was one of the really most excellent classes. Does anybody have any thoughts on supplement class?
It was intense.
It was intense. That's a good word.
Well, it made me feel like I needed to think twice before recommending supplements to people. Like, there's time and a place, and without a medical background, I'm not sure that that's going to be part of my wheelhouse with making that recommendation, because there's so much to learn and so much to take into consideration. I know a lot of my counterparts in my classes felt differently. They're like, I'm going to recommend supplements all day long. So I think it depends on the person, their comfort level, because there's just so much information.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Who's there?
Hi. This is Janice Johnson. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can. Jenny, how are you?
I'm well. I'm so sorry. I had a technical difficulty and I didn't put in my participant ID, so I was able to hear you guys the whole time, but I couldn't say anything.
Okay.
That's okay. You're on now, and we can all hear you. So, which program did you graduate from, Jenny?
I did the Holistic Nutrition and Wellness Practitioner program with the concentration in fitness, nutrition, and behavior change.
Okay, it's Janice.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Yay, thank you. And we were just, I was going to touch back on that based on Tomika's question, which was, can fitness program help if you want to go into yoga teaching as well as holistic nutrition?
Absolutely.
I think so, definitely.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, any sort of movement, any sort of exercise, I mean, anything that requires some core strength, even swimming, I mean, everything, anything and everything moving. When your body requires calories and energy, it's a perfect fit, especially if you're doing it on like higher levels, like in the gym, or if you're a fitness a fitness coach. So, Janice, we were just saying, if you're not talking at the moment, if you could just mute yourself, that would be perfect. Do you know how to do that?
Yes, I muted. I'm sorry, I couldn't answer. I'm muted.
No, that's okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So good. It looks like, and we have a lot of questions coming in.
Okay, good.
So should we go through these? Yeah, let's go through these, and then we'll get to some other questions for the grads. Yeah, Southern cooking. We get that. I am from the South too. So Alicia's enrolled in the fitness nutrition educator. She wants to explore culinary as well.
Yeah.
So that's not something that you can add into your program as it's built right now. You can add on to it at the end, but you can't do it all at the same time, nor would you even want to. There's so much information to retain. I tell people I've never loved quizzes so much in my entire life than I did in the nutrition piece of the program, because you can retain it. No time limit, open book. You can retain that information. You can soak it in, and it's just gold.
Yeah.
And then, thank you. I'm all about holistic, and my studies focus more on Western nutrition. What is the career outlook with a degree certification in holistic nutrition? I did read up on the soul nutrition.
So
the standard American diet. Yeah. You want to talk to that?
Absolutely. This whole soul concept is so cool because it really brings us back to the earth, which is where those wonderful plants come from, and that's where we get that life force. So that same concept of feeding our bodies is feeding our soul, and we can really serve the world so much better from that place. Sad, totally opposite of that, right? So everything we do is uplifting. We talk about what can we add in as opposed to what do we take out. So if Becca was my client, I'm not going to dwell on her sad diet. we're going to instead almost ignore that, and we're going to talk about how we can add soul food to her diet, to her lifestyle. So that's just a different philosophy, but even though it seems so small, I think it's huge, because what we focus on is what we bring about. So if we're focusing on the live, vibrant, colorful food, getting more hydration, lowering our stress, and living from a lighter place because we feel better, that's a whole different place to be than just talking about, oh, let's get rid of this and, you know, make somebody make a change that they may not be ready for. So it's a subtle difference, but I think it's a pretty big one.
Yeah. And Leah, SOUL stands for seasonal, organic, unprocessed, and local whole foods. And someone asked too, Susan asked, are you able to complete the smaller certificates? Yes. And they can transfer into larger programs depending on how that program's built. What's approved as specialty combinations within that program, they can transfer up and in. And we can explore that a little bit more when we get into this program sheet here.
Cool.
Good.
So I'd like to talk about some of the challenges. You know, all of you are happy with the program, at least I can tell from your responses, and we'll talk more about that. But we don't ever get to anything that really is big in our lives, in my experience, than going through a little bit of some downtimes or some struggles. Would everybody agree with that, that there's some challenges? I'd like to hear what some of the challenges were. I'm sure some people online are wondering many things, right?
Yeah.
Can I do it? Do I have time? Do I have enough time to study? What about my kids? What do I do about work?
Can we launch this poll real quick first? So let's hear, so the graduates,
she's all over it.
because I want the graduates to really share this component. Absolutely. Because a lot of people are hesitant because of the uncertainty. So let's launch this poll and to see what keeps people from doing the work. And I'm sure all the graduates went through the same process too when they're deciding, okay, is this for me? You know, let's see what.
So what are some things that are keeping you from enrolling? Is it time? Is it unsure about funding? Are you not sure that you can really pursue this path even when you get done? Or is it just downright fear?
Mm.
So take a moment and vote on that. And while you're doing that, we see what some feedback is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till the poll's done.
No, this is fine. So Robin said, do the panelists think holistic nutrition business will be more successful online versus in person? Were you able to find work right out of school? And I think this is a good segue for them to answer this. And then how quickly after graduation did you start practicing, start your careers, and is it profiting?
Cool.
All good segues into this.
Absolutely.
Great question.
All right, so which one? Ooh.
I love the honesty. Thank you all for being so honest and sharing. So let's share this.
That's how we roll.
That is how we roll. Authentic.
Unsure about funding. Okay, well, we are a pretty amazing school because we're one of the few that actually have amazing programs in that area. So let's go to the panelists. So let's start with you, Janice, online, and talk to us about some of maybe one or two challenges and how you overcame them.
Oh, okay. Well, the first challenge for me was, I'm sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. The first challenge for me, to be very honest, was fear. I wasn't sure if, I knew that this was something that I loved doing and I would do it, you know, without getting paid for it. I was very passionate about it. But to be honest, I was fearful because I wasn't sure if I could really live up to what it meant to be a holistic practitioner, you know, because this is dealing with people's lives. And I thought, well, I mean, I can help my family. I mean, I seem to be on a good track, but do I really have what it takes to help like a lot of other people, you know, or is it just my family humors me? You know, I wasn't sure. And I knew that it was going to be a very big step. Whatever I decided to do was going to be a huge step, and it was something that I couldn't just turn away from or, you know, put it down and say, I'm going to put that on the shelf for a season. I had to commit to it and just kind of get over the fear behind success. not failure, but success. You know,
So you
because
just
with
stepped
that
through the
comes
fear then?
responsibility.
So you
Did
just
what?
said, you just stepped through it and you're going to just do it?
I did. I typically have like the mentality of I'm going to jump all the way in, you know, just jump in because then I don't have a chance to I guess, backtrack. You know, because if I put one foot in, then I can always test the temperature. But if I jump in with both feet, then that means I'm in there and I have to commit to it. And it was sink or swim. So it really challenged me to commit to what I believed I was called to do.
Good for you. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Love it. Carol,
Thank you.
can we hear from you? What your challenges were and how you overcame that?
Okay, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, well, my purpose for going to school was different. I had overcome having multiple sclerosis. I was very sick, and I learned about nutrition on my own to overcome those challenges. And I enrolled in school to learn how to get well. And so there wasn't that fear of, I wasn't trying to learn a new skill so that I could go out in the world and practice holistic nutrition. So the purpose was for me to learn more about nutrition for myself. And by the third course, I realized, oh my goodness, I could go and teach this to other people and help them get well. So it became, when am I going to get done? I got to get out there and spread the word, you know? And I just couldn't wait to be done, you know? So, and then I graduated this past May, and I did start my own online business, but now I'm back in school and I'm studying to become an alternative medicine doctor.
Nice. Good for you.
So, you know, and almost every single credit that I earned in the 755-hour program transferred over.
Oh, that's excellent.
Everything transferred. So I only have like 2.5 years to get a little less than 2.5 years to get my bachelor's, and then my master's right after that, and I'll be Dr. Carol.
Wow,
so
that is that's super inspiring. Yeah. I have actually talked to other people that this was a great stepping stone into something, you know, like what you're going to do. Definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah. But,
so
you know, I still have my online business that I can have as many clients as I can, you know, handle while I'm in school. So I'm still helping people, but I want to help more. So I took a few months off and I started college a week ago. Today's the first day of my second week.
Congratulations.
So,
yay.
Yay. Thank you
great.
very much.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Some challenges and how you came over that?
Pardon me?
I was just reaching Stephanie if she's still online.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Girl.
I think Steph had to jump off.
Off. Okay. All right, let's go to you, Holly. So what were some of your challenges, if you had any, and how did you overcome that?
So if you guys don't mind, super quick, I wanted to answer this question that someone put back here because they reiterated it again. Where she's saying, what's the outlook, the career outlook from switching to Western medicine to holistic medicine? Just super quick, like on my end anyway, I actually have a bunch of local doctors that let me keep their cards in their office, and so I like that they can kind of commingle, and not every community allows that. Flagstaff, Arizona is a community that thankfully is very welcoming of that. But I think that the place that it can kind of have is that a lot of times doctors can give their patient a diagnosis, but they don't really have a place in their life after that. So a holistic health coach is there to say, whoa, you've been diagnosed with diabetes or metabolic disorder or whatever. That's a huge deal. Let's make sure your doctor does everything they need for you on a prescription level and whatever else you need. And I'm here for you to help you with your diet and nutrition and fitness and all that, and just kind of the behavior change and, you know, the emotional toll that that takes on people too. So I feel like that's one career outlook, is actually working with some Western medicine and kind of just helping shift people's perspective from being hooked on prescriptions to how to implement a healthier lifestyle in general.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, and then as far as challenges, it was honestly pretty nice for me. I guess my thing was time management. I was like not necessarily planning on coming back to school so soon after graduating. And then I decided to do it, and just like immediately within a month of deciding to do it, I had to start. And I also owned a business, was running a Airbnb, and had a full-time job otherwise. So that was really difficult. And I needed to keep all of those things to keep my funding going. So yeah, I would say time management was the most difficult thing to overcome, but it ended up working out well, because the online program actually gave me the ability to do as much work as I wanted to. So I know that it might not be recommended for most people, but if I had 6 hours with nothing to do, which was kind of rare, I got a bunch of stuff done. I did all my reading for the next few weeks and like really buckled down. And I actually appreciated having that time to be able to go in and see some stuff ahead of time and what I needed to do.
Nice. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Jenny? Any challenges?
Time. I'm a mom of 3 little people, so I knew that going to school was going to take time from them and being like present as a mom, because that was my first job. But it, like Holly said, like everyone else has said, like the online ability of it was awesome, because I could do it on my time. Like, okay, kids are all now at school or at preschool. I have this 3-hour chunk. What all can I get done in this amount of time? And a little bit of fear for me as well. Just, oh my gosh, do I really want to like start a new career? The plan was all kids are in school, I'm going back to work full time, but I really don't want to sit in a cubicle, so I got to come up with plan B. And this just spoke to me because I had had other previous experiences at SWIHA or Spirit of Yoga. And I just knew I was where I was supposed to be, and things were falling in place. So it all worked out.
That's great. Thanks. Angela?
I had already completed the Mind Body Wellness Practitioner program on campus at SWIHA. And I moved from North Carolina to Tempe to do that. So I think I had dealt with the fear part. The biggest thing for me was time management, because I thought, well, you know, it's online. How hard can it be? And it took me a good 2 to 4 weeks to realize, you know what, you better start early. You really don't have any time to waste if you're actually going to do the work properly. And I have to admit, like the first couple of weeks, I really rushed through work because I waited to the last minute, and because I just was so sure I had it under control. And I saw that, I thought that it would be very similar to being on campus. Well, let me tell you, it is nothing like being on campus. And it taught me a lot about self-discipline. It taught me to just prioritize better. So that was my biggest thing, is time management.
Okay. And you found a way to make it work, right?
I finally found a way.
Good for you. Anna? Go ahead and unmute Anna.
Anna.
There we go. Sorry, my
There
mouse
we go.
didn't work.
Okay.
Biggest challenge I had was fear, because time management was not an issue for me because I like learning stuff. But with fear, I had a career, and I had to medically retire early. I was a police officer for 6 years, and that got taken away from me because of medical issues. And when I enrolled in SWIHA, I enrolled because I wanted to learn how to become healthy, how to eat right. But there was that voice in the back of my mind going, you couldn't even be a cop. What makes you think you're going to be able to do this? And that was one of the good things about SWIHA. The instructors were so awesome that they led me to believe that I could conquer the world. And I still believe that, because they really instill in you the greatness of each individual person, and they help you learn how to be your greater self. And so that was, after I got over the fear, it went swimmingly, and I'd love to come back for something else, but I don't know what. That's why I haven't returned yet.
That's awesome. Well, thank you all for your honesty. I think that's a really great.
I know.
I think it's a huge part of deciding to go online. For me, I'd never done anything like this online. I had a lot of fear going back to school. It's been years since I'd been in college. And then I was going to a platform I'd never been to before.
Mm-hmm.
The first week was like a fire hose, total honesty. Now, I started on December 14th of 2015, right before Christmas. But it was so awesome because we went 1 week and then we had a week off. And during that week, I did just what you talked about, Angela, is I took a deep breath and I said, okay, I have to make some changes or it's not going to work. And so I made some changes during that week as far as organization and time management and things. And then I said, well, I'm going to give it at least through the first class to see. And Canvas is such an amazing tool that I really caught on, and I found a system, so it got better. But boy, that first week, I have to tell you, a little freaking out there.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling that, we have lots of students online. They're in the program right now, and they probably are feeling that or felt that.
Yeah, so we will talk about the funding piece, but what I want to do is I really want to feature the grads who are on here. Nikki asked, what does one do once this program is finished? This is an entrepreneurial-based program. We want you to empower yourself to step out in the world, share your gifts and graces in a profitable way, a loving and profitable way. So I would like to, for those who have their website up and running, and we can just go down the list, because I will literally type it in so I can share your website with the masses. There have been some who've typed it in. They want to see, what you're doing, what you have in the works. A few of you haven't launched yet. Perfectly fine. Everything in the right time. But let's go ahead and let's share. Holly, let's start with you. What is your website, madam? Oh, yes. Thank you. I brought this for a reason.
Yeah, so my website is just hollywhitehealth.com.
Holly White. Did I spell that right? Yeah.
Let me
Yay.
see. Yeah. And if you let it load for a second, it should actually play like a video loop instead of this background. It just takes a moment.
Okay.
It should
No problem.
be.
I do like the turquoise.
Yeah. It's like recently it's been having some issues, but I don't know why. I want it to go though, because it's really cool. Is there any way you would mind
so
just
cute.
pressing the reload button really quick, and we'll see if
mind.
Thank you.
Of course. And I like that you have your social media icons here. Yay. Oh.
Yes. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Check it out.
It tried.
Oh, going slow.
So I think people want to know really what you're doing. And
Yeah, let's enter the website.
And also how long after. Now you're a little different, Holly, because you were already going. But be thinking about, the questions really are, how soon after did you go into your business? Because remember,
Right.
we have business throughout the program, but then we have 3 classes at the end that are really focused on social media and getting your business going. Wow, it's a cool picture.
Awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, this honestly, I will put it out there that like this program really, really helped me with getting my business off the ground as far as expanding, because in the last couple classes where I was doing the entrepreneurial classes and the business stuff, I was actually using it in real time to like work on my business. So the business, you know, like the 12-month outlook and all of that, I was actually applying to my running business, and it worked so well. So I was able to really plan everything out and get it going super well. I did have my website up for about a year before I even started school, but I was working on it, adjusting things the entire time. And actually, I didn't get my studio until about 2 weeks before I graduated, and it kind of fell into my lap, or I manifested it, I should say. So right when I graduated, I had my grand opening a week later, and it's going really well.
Awesome website. You have a blog ongoing, which is super important in the search engines. You have reviews, you have events. Rad.
Yeah, and actually if you click the events button right there, there's like, so this is something else that's awesome.
Beautiful.
That I would also like to attribute to, you know, getting more confidence through this program, is I'm hosting a retreat, and they'll be quarterly. So these retreats are going to be focused on using behavior change concepts mostly to help rewire the brain to just kind of react instead of act on things, and learn how to incorporate different behavior techniques to change your life in a positive way.
Nice. What are yogic meals?
I know.
I have to ask.
Yogic meals, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the yogic meals. We're going to do a sattvic diet for the week. So just, you know, lentils, rice, we're going to do spices, but
Ayurvedic.
not spicy, like very earthy spices, and
Nice. Beautiful website.
Yeah.
Luck on your retreat. That's beautiful.
Clover Leaf
Living, I believe it was.
Holistic Living.
Okay, Jenny, tell us about what you're kind of planning on doing now that you're done. You're taking the test, so maybe you're focusing on that, or?
I have, and I apologize in advance. I haven't touched my website since graduation.
That's okay.
Don't apologize. No one would have known that, Jenny.
What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Well, I just want to say, don't beat yourself up and don't ever apologize.
Exactly.
For those of you who don't know, studying for the boards is going to take some time. It's probably a good 3 months of intense studying. So you're getting ready to do that for next month. So that's your main focus right now.
It hasn't. It has been like everything else has been put on hold. So this is my little baby. Hoping to offer a variety of services, nutrition coaching being the main one. I'm not lucky like Holly. I don't have a beautiful space. I'm envious of your beautiful space for yoga. I hope to one day have something similar. But really focusing on nutrition coaching and functional movement with clients to get them just moving their body in a healthy way and in a useful way. I'm finding that that seems to resonate with a lot of people that I'm talking to about that versus using other words. So that's the plan. I hope to start promoting my website, promoting my business so that I can do online if people are far away, or I can do it in person coaching, whether it's they're coming to my home or I'm coming to them, whatever is going to be more comfortable.
Nice. So the program helped kind of help you define what you want to do?
Totally. Especially like the classes with trying to figure out like your niche market and finding, picking a business name and why are you picking this business name, and having to come up with a business plan and what our expenses and things
Mhm.
I hadn't really thought about. Like I knew, oh, these are on the horizon, but really to be forced to be uncomfortable because this was totally out of my wheelhouse, but it was so important and so necessary to, I really have to think about these things. Like I have to consider all of this information. And it was awesome. Like the entrepreneurial courses were like just incredible. Like really helped me in ways that I didn't know I needed helped, but it was
You didn't
important.
know what you didn't know.
Yes.
Well,
So,
cool. Well, we
yeah.
wish you well on your passing the test and on your website and your
Thank
business.
you.
Excellent. So we have Angela.
Okay.
at
I'm
that.
nowhere near that far.
Healthology. Love
I
that.
did purchase
That's okay.
a domain
No worries.
name and actually
Love
had
Healthology,
published it for an
yeah.
assignment, and then I shut it down because I'm not really sure what I want the content to be. But I do know that I want to focus on nutritional coaching, and I also want to focus on teaching healthy food preparation. So right now, though, I'm at the beginning. I'm not rushing to do anything. And
Okay.
I'll just go from where I am.
Absolutely. Excellent. All right, Anna, holistichealth.com.
Yeah, Anna, you're up.
Yeah, my website is a work in progress right now, but I'm working on it. I am horrible with technology, so my wife is going to help me with it when she has vacation. But what I would like to offer is nutrition coaching and also life coaching. The main reason why I'm going online predominantly is in this area. It's a very small area where I live at, so I don't have very many
Like that.
options here because not very many people are interested in eating holistically or even healthy. Everybody wants to eat at McDonald's and Burger King all the time. So I'm hoping if I can just break into the online business, then maybe I can start to open awareness for people here.
Good for you.
And we talk to so many interested people who are around the world, and just as a collective whole, people are awakening a lot more and realizing that they can influence their health in the biggest ways just by getting rid of things like dairy, gluten, meats. I talk to people on a daily basis who literally heal themselves from disease because they just step into really understanding what their body needs and why. So don't give up hope for your people around you, and hold them up so that they can be excited about it. And but yes, the virtual realm is obviously as big as you want to go. So you have online success coaches here too. You know that, right?
Yes.
Anyone in our programs gets
I
coaching.
actually had a meeting with Will Zecco today.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
And he really, really helped me out because, like I said, technology, when it comes to, I don't know anything. And he asked me,
Don't affirm that. You're learning, right?
And he said, okay, you need to do this and this and this. You go here, you do this. I'm like, great, thank you. So the Success Center is huge at SWIHA.
Absolutely. Yep. Will and Sharon are there to help all of you. So you're ongoing and even after you're done. Denise?
Denise doesn't have her website up yet.
Okay.
And then Carol, are you still on? Would you like to share your healthywithnutrition.com?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Tell us what you're planning on doing.
Well, right now, I just mostly do one-on-one sessions with clients. And next month, I'm going to be adding a program that I'll be teaching people how to eat an anti-inflammatory diet.
Nice.
As inflammation seems to be the root cause of most illnesses,
About all of them.
And I get asked all the time, how do I eat an anti-inflammatory diet? And it's like, if I just tell you, you know, for free, because I got asked that a lot through I have a Facebook business page, and I get a lot of clicks over from that page over to my website. And in the social media class at SWIHA, that's pretty much where we learn is where you're going to attract a lot of clients. And so if you have your Facebook business page with your website there, you get a lot of traffic to your website from Facebook. So that was one thing I learned in school there, SWIHA. And so I do get a lot of traffic from there, and a lot of people are my friends from Facebook, you know, and they're asking me all the time, you know, oh, well, just teach me. I'm like, well, all right, so I'm going to put together a program, and I'll list that up on my website. I'm going to do that in September. So I'll have a program, like a 4-week program with pre-recorded videos and downloadable PDFs so people can purchase the program.
That's great.
So Lisa had a question wondering if anyone focuses on the aging population, and technically we're all aging, but are you meaning an older demographic? I'm guessing. Carol, do you have any experience with that?
No, I mostly get people who have illnesses like multiple sclerosis, lupus, people who have basically, as you see the tagline for my business is overcoming chronic illness naturally.
Yeah.
And I guess I come up a lot in searches with people looking up chronic illnesses, and even type 2 diabetes. I get a lot. So
do you come up naturally in the search engines just based on these keywords, or are you buying any ads right now?
I'm not buying any ads, no.
Good job. Good job. Anyone else working with anyone 65 or older? And someone's asking if illness can be cured naturally, and we don't really use the word cured as nutrition coaches. Who's up? Holly, is that you?
Yeah, I have several clients that are in their 60s. I've worked with one male in particular who was in his 50s, but he also has an interesting disease called Marfan syndrome, so he can't gain muscle. He's like really skeletally thin, and it causes him to kind of have atrophy anyway. That was awesome because as he's getting older, he really needs to find foundation in building strength and staying, you know, able to even walk. And he experienced a lot of change and a lot of positive benefit from what we did. And then, yeah, I work with several women who are in their postmenopausal state. And so we focus on menopausal and postmenopausal nutrition, and then different exercises that are focused on around how to keep, you know, all of the synovial fluids still intact after you lose all of the estrogen in your body, and how to avoid osteoporosis and things like that. So it's been quite fun. And I actually think that might be my favorite group of people to work with.
Awesome. Let's see, what else do we have? Landon, I noticed you had your hand raised. So if you have a question, you can type it in, or if you work with that demographic, you can also type in your information there. So we shared Carol's, Stephanie was gone. So I think we got everyone. Very good. And then Robin asked, is it more successful to do online versus on campus? And I say that's up to the individual. There might be a learning curve for some people getting used to the online learning platform. Canvas is absolutely incredible. very user friendly. We can SWIHA it all the way, which is my favorite. But if you are here and can attend in person, that's great. If you do need that extra, if you want to do your homework in your pajamas, me. If you are a single mom, me. You know, we have to have time to really do the work at home. So it's just based on your lifestyle, how you learn the best. You know you better than anyone else. So very good. And Landon said, curious, I came late. This shall be posted. This is recorded. So we're going to share this probably on our YouTube, so we can reshare this on Facebook with the world. And this will be shared in Canvas as well. I know we sent that out to everyone. So graduates and Janet, what do you see on the cutting edge of holistic nutrition and niches to look at? What's trending?
Yeah,
That's great. Good question.
that's a great question.
Who wants to open up that can?
I'm trying to think what I've heard.
I would
I
say,
mean, there's so many different kinds of diets out there,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
personal opinion, I see a lot of people just embracing a holistic lifestyle, realizing it's not just one aspect that you have to focus on, that it's not just your physical movement, it's not just food, it's not just your meditation practice, whatever. Like, you have to have all of the parts together to be healthy and well. And I think more and more people are embracing that and coming to that understanding that it's not just one thing that's going to help you with wellness and health, that you have to incorporate all of them. And I feel like it's trending more and more towards that. Like, when I've told people, yeah, I just graduated in holistic nutrition, and they're like, that's really up and coming. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I feel like people are just more open to it and more receptive to it, and that it's just gaining more and more momentum as a whole idea, concept, however you want to do that.
I think the trend of veganism has skyrocketed. I think it's been uphill, and I say that because there's more magazines out, there's more books out, recipe books, blogs. So I'm going on that it's becoming at least an option to think about not only meatless Mondays, but maybe taking it a step further and cutting out or drastically reducing, meat and meat products. So when you talk about inflammation, right, and unfortunately the obese numbers aren't improving as quickly as I'd like to see. But I think if you've been to any of the massive places where products are coming out, and I haven't been to one, but I have a friend that goes every single year, and he gives me kind of updates. So when you see products coming in, and you see companies that normally do what we would think is not that healthy, and now they're buying a piece of the pie to make nut milks and vegan cheese and meatless products, it does help you take notice. So I think the trend is definitely going that way, and that's all I can think of right now. I'm sure there's many other trends.
I think
But that's exciting.
I think a trend is too, because there are so many diets on the market. People are totally confused about, do I eat carbs? Do I not eat them? Do I eat meat? Do I not eat it? And I think the trend now is that people really want to know, what am I supposed to eat? Why can't I eat this? Why should I measure this? What are macros? So I think just to help people, I think there's a need to overcome the fear of food for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
That was
And
an
I
awesome
find
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Another one that I find to be big, because I'm seeing down in the comments too, people are saying like they're worried about the niche market not being in their area and stuff. I think a really good way to market to people in an honest way is simply that, that whole you pay now or pay later kind of idea. But a lot of people that have been coming to me are kind of skeptical at first because they're like, what is this, some woo-woo thing where you're going to tell me like I'll be fine if I meditate every day? And it's like, no, as you can see from you being ill or overweight now, like there are things we have to do every day to be healthy. So then when I sit them down and I'm just honest with them and kind of, you know, share with them my own experiences and stuff, they realize it's not any kind of witchcraft or some crazy stuff going on, but it's simply the alternative to being sick. And so unfortunately, a lot of people right now are on the back end of living this life of doing whatever they want diet-wise and being sick. And so a huge market for us is people who are trying to live a better life, I guess, and just feel healthier.
Yeah. And just to add to that, Holly, that was so well said. Mainstream medicine is adopting this. It's not even an alternative way. It is the natural way, and it's integrating all of it. So, well put, everyone.
Was there any questions that were?
No, I mean, I think we've done a pretty good job on answering them. The one thing that I know everyone did want to touch on real quick was just the funding, and just I wanted to show everyone, for those who are looking at this program for themselves in the future, you can go to the website under View All Programs, under this right here. Down at the bottom, the Holistic Nutrition Wellness Practitioner Diploma is offered online. So when you click on that, that opens here. It just gives you an overview. You can click on the program sheet to see the core courses, the advanced courses, entrepreneur courses, and the core courses here. Then you get to choose your concentration. This is what a lot of people had a question about. So I'll just copy and paste this in here. And for those who have any last questions for the grads, go ahead and type them in. Susan asked, how would you respond to the various products like Isogenics and Juice Plus? Any grads want to take that one? Not all at once.
I would like to respond to the Juice Plus question.
Okay.
Personally, I am definitely like a supplement fan when it's necessary and helpful. But the thing that I stress to my clients is no supplement can really give you everything that eating the food can, like the whole food, in its raw state. So there's no magic pill, there's no magic powder. It can have a lot of benefits, but you do want the fiber, you want the kind of like the fresh version of something when it's available, you know, and not to become dependent on a supplement, because it is just that at the end of the day, and you can't always control what they're going to add to it in the future or what's been added to it now. So the safe bet is to try and always, you know, go with our soul food plan. It's just, it's a surefire way. And then you do get used to, I think it deals with certain discipline when we have to kind of cut up our own fruit or, you know, clean our own vegetables. And it alleviates that dependency on always having access to something that we may not be able to get in stores. Maybe we can only order online. So that's generally my feel about Juice Plus and other things of that nature. It's not that it's a bad product, or, you know, but my personal preference is to build the discipline and the habit of shopping for whole food.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Is there any others? I just have one last question, if you're.
Please, yeah.
So I'd like to just ask one last question to the grads, and this is to the students that are in the program right now. They're at all different levels. We just had we had a 5:21 start, I believe. We have anyway, there's always people in different stages of the program. What would you say to them? they're at a point where maybe they're thinking, oh my goodness, I still got a ways to go, or whatever's going on in their life. What words of wisdom would you give them because you all got through? So what would you share with your colleagues, with your fellow classmates, tribe, that would be encouraging for them? Anna, let's start with you.
First thing I would say is don't give up. Do not ever give up. Keep striving towards your goal. We are all connected. We are all connected to the divine. And if you're here, it's because you are meant to be here, and you are not meant to give up. If it's tough and if it's getting rough on you, take a moment, breathe, learn to meditate if you don't already know how, and just be still, and then come back to it. That's the advice I would give.
Beautiful. Thank you. Angela?
I would agree with Anna. Don't give up. There are going to be some days that you will definitely want to give up, but just hang in there. There are going to be some subjects you can't stand, but just embrace them and walk away knowing that you've learned something in the end, and just enjoy the process.
Thank you. Jenny?
It's worth it. Keep going. Just keep going.
Just keep swimming.
Yep. You tell my mom.
Holly? That's good.
Yeah, I actually would say, as someone who like went to school before, got a different degree, and now I'm back, I think just to pay attention to the content and know that this is your time, your money, and your future. So instead of doing the assignments just to do them and flipping through the content, make it worth it, and make this, make your time worth it. Like, really try to absorb the content so that when you get out of this, you actually have retained knowledge that you can bring to the table.
Beautiful. Thank you. Carol?
Okay. And the only thing I could add to that is, if you're in a class that you're not understanding something, reach out to your instructor, because they are there for you to ask questions. If you have to shoot them an email, they'll always say, shoot me an email. They mean it. They want you to learn. They're there for you to learn, and you will get it. You know, don't give up, like everyone said, because it's such a worthy industry to get into, because this is the wave of the future, and you'll love it. You will truly love it.
Thank you.
Can I add something
Yeah,
in there?
you're next, Denise. Yeah, I'm not going to forget you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. You're next.
I just wanted to encourage everyone is like, don't forget your why. You know, just remember your why, whatever that is. And if you haven't defined your why yet, then define it. Take that time, whether it's tonight or just sometime soon, and define why you're doing this and what you hope to accomplish. And then remember, you know, look at it kind of be the optimistic type, and don't look at how much further you have left to go, but look at how far you've already come. You know, before you started the program, you were a few months before, you know, maybe 3 months into it or 6 months into it, but you are now 6 months into it, and that's 6 months ahead of where you were 6 months ago. So just look at it that way and be encouraged, because it's really going to be so much more worth it, and the impact that you'll have on other people. And you'll have the story where you can tell them, you can encourage them to say, I didn't give up. And that will apply, that'll translate to all of your clients, because you're encouraging them to not give up in whatever their goals are. So make this a goal that you choose not to give up on. And that's kind of it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for sharing that from your hearts, and I couldn't have said it better.
So we have the upcoming start date. It is literally right around the corner. Enrollment actually closes next Monday for this program because our campus will be shut down over Labor Day weekend because what's happening that weekend? Everyone's waiting. Like 10 people have typed it in. Yes, we're finally moving. And yes, we can tell you where we're going. So for anyone who knows where our Spirit of Yoga campus is and our Natural Aesthetics branch, we will be their next door neighbor right there on East Southern Avenue. So whoop, whoop, everyone manifested us all being together. I'm very happy. The next Gifts and Graces event, which I stream live for those who aren't physically here to attend, we will be streaming live from our new campus. So, yes, so that's very exciting. So anyone who's looking to get into this program specifically, email me or call the school directly. They'll put you through to me so I can get you to an online admissions coach. We do accept financial aid for this program. We have a financial aid dedicated page with all that info. Some people were asking about tuition. We have that over here. I'll put the link in. It shows all of our full programs here. Some people might just want to take like a first class just to feel what Canvas is like. I can, number one, I can send you a sample class so you don't have to actually enroll in a class. But let's say someone just wants to take a look at the brand new class calendar that we haven't mailed out yet. We just got it. You can also go to our homepage. We have a class calendar link. And as we touched on, and I believe many of our graduates have taken the advantage of connecting with a coach. You have success coaches through your program and lifelong support after you graduate. So it's so amazing. You have all the support. So Sharon, Rose, and Will have been amazing. Shelly is also our success coach online. I'm sure she's checked in on a lot of people who are on this webinar. So yeah, I mean, all the possibilities.
Absolutely.
It's never going to end. Humans are always going to have to eat food. That's the beauty of this line of work is we have to do it.
That's right.
Any last words of wisdom from our graduates to share with the world? Now's your time to shine.
All right.
Beautiful. They
you.
shared their wisdom and they shared their website. So check those out, connect with them. You're welcome, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you all for your time tonight.
Yes, we'll publish this and reshare it with everyone. So here's to you, your health, you, your family, your loved ones, with Soul Nutrition.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.